Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Luckiest Peach podcast. I'm your host, Rachel, the Lucky Peach. Um, Today we are here for our second special episode. The reason that November is all different from what you're used to in this podcast feed because I'm a big boy critic now, and I had the pleasure of, if you're watching on patreon.com/luckypeach, you're watching me hold up my press badge. I was a press person at the Houston Cinema Arts Festival. And it's been very exciting, and that is why all the episodes are different this month. So last week, Raúl and I did a preview of the festival and what we're looking forward to. And today we're going to review everything that we saw in person. Next week we're going to review everything that we had seen virtually, and then because there's an extra Tuesday, the last Tuesday will be just a final review of the festival and our final thoughts and stuff. But anyways, I don't have any other shit to say, so I'm gonna introduce the boys. So joining is you can't get rid of him. Roll.
That's right. You can't get rid of me. Coming in a little less with a little less energy because I've had a long morning already. But can't get rid of me. What's it called? This is festival number 2 for me. Festival number 1 for Rachel. And yeah, let's talk some fucking movies.
And also joining us, Luis.
I just woke up.
I thought you would have started like that. Fucking ass.
No, it just bad timing. I legit didn't feel it until they were calling me up. Festival number 3 for me.
Man, I was telling
Number
you
3.
last night, 10 a.m. Don't even.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I said I was fine with it. Yeah, number
Wait,
3.
I want to find out which number 3. Why is this number 3 for you? Which
I
did you
don't
do
fucking
before?
remember. I've done a lot of shit that I don't remember, and that's a problem.
Dude, I've accredited you only for Nashville in this one.
I don't think I
So,
was accredited with you.
huh?
I might have been with the school.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
I
All
think it might
right.
have been with the school.
I have no
Or I
idea
might
what this
just be
is.
tripping and splitting up days. I don't fucking know.
I think you're splitting up, and I think you're
What's
tripping.
real?
Also, I think
What?
the sun just peeked in into your room.
Yeah, yeah.
It
Nice
actually
It
looks,
lighting.
because I
yeah, it
set
actually
it.
looks nice.
I set it up, the ISO right before you joined. But yeah, it does that. So I don't have my softbox in here. So yeah. I don't. Yeah, I have to. I just gotta deal with natural lighting.
It
I
looks
mean, it
good.
looks nice. Yeah.
Yeah, watch. Oh, there it goes.
So, how are you guys?
I'm good. I got a
Uh,
project to do later tonight, or work.
nice, nice. I'm doing all right. Just hanging out here. What's it called now? Trying to kind of like piece together pieces of what I'm supposed to be doing now that I'm back in. So, other than that, just hanging out and having fun because I'm unemployed.
I was about to say you do have a lot of free time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Rearranged the shelf. I managed to fit all Criterion's, Arrow, and the one Kino I have. So,
Well, please tell me you have space for one more because I have to go to the post
mhm.
office after we finish this.
Yeah, I actually have space for the two more. Yeah. So,
Yeah,
but like I said, I have like the bottom shelf, the third shelf on the bottom. It has like a fuck ton of what's called room. So now everything that starts to add up, what's called can start to overtake the shelf.
it's good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
or I
we
could stack.
because Raul is now unemployed, our rule about Criterion sales has changed.
Yeah.
Um, so speaking of that, I did learn that this morning when I was opening the ones I got yesterday. The book that comes with Vampire,
Mm-hmm.
it's the screenplay.
Oh shit! Really?
Yeah,
That's really cool.
it's the whole screenplay.
Nice.
Fucked up my cast nail clippers.
Oh no.
It
Oh no.
doesn't close. Anyway, continue. Sorry.
Yeah, I learned. Yeah, so we've gotten a lot. There will be a video at some point.
Mm-hmm.
on your YouTube channel.
Yeah, as soon as the last two get here, and then as soon as you're done, when yours finally get here, I can add like the last picture. Well,
Yeah,
your picture.
my
Yeah.
I should be getting a package on what's the 19th, Friday,
Mm-hmm.
Friday.
and then the one I pre-ordered gets here on the 20 something.
Yeah. So expect the video at the end of the month.
It was a
Yeah.
lot of fun. Luis got in trouble.
When? Oh,
Yeah.
on the thing with
Somebody
the white
decided to
man.
stand in back at the counter.
I wasn't even exactly behind the counter. I was just leaning against the fucking whatever the thing was. They just fucking nitpicky about that shit. They saw I was brown. It seemed like the manager. It was a white bald man. Fuck else am I gonna do?
And then he decided to
Yeah,
completely
it was
ignore
Jeff
us and
Bezos.
talk to the white lady who apparently was self-publishing her books and stuff.
Dude,
Oh,
I
that's
told you
nice.
that lady was like one of my professors
Yeah.
from junior college. Yeah, she told me about that. Like she was writing that book when I took her.
Damn.
It was a kid's book. I forget what it was called though.
Cool.
All right.
I didn't know that. So the white
Anyways,
man chose her over the brown boy that was doing nothing. Anyways.
anyways, so we saw. Well, Raúl saw 3 of these in person.
Mm-hmm.
I saw 6 of them. Luis saw 5. Or no, 4. No, wait. I don't fucking know how many you went to.
I think I just saw 3.
Oh, well. Anyways, but we're gonna review them in the order that we saw them, just because it makes it easier for the flow. So the first one was, opening night. Uh, it was the camera's about to turn off. It was the big exciting one. It was the one that we did have to pay for because of the limited space in the theater that we were in at the Museum of Fine Arts in Houston, um, and also because the director himself, Sean Baker, was there. He was Red Rocket. Um, so it is the official release date for everyone else will be December 10th. That's when you guys can catch it in theaters. The runtime is 128 minutes. I'm not gonna lie, you do feel every minute of that, but
You
it's
really
worth
do.
it. It's very good. Um, yeah, the film is like considered Simon Rex's comeback. I don't know where he went, but I guess he's been out of the public eye or some shit since Scary Movie franchise ended. I don't know.
I think
Um,
so. It's been a while.
but yeah, they're considering this his comeback. Um, this film is also I like Sean Baker in general. His films are a big deal because he does street casting and he casts people that like normal people who live in the city that he's shooting in.
Is
Um,
that why he's big? I
well,
didn't
he
know
also
that.
makes good movies.
Okay, I would imagine. I would imagine it was that too. I'm like, he's 50 years old. He's been in the industry long enough. He
I
has
mean,
his name
sometimes
built
it
up.
takes a long ass time to get your breakthrough.
When was his breakthrough?
I don't know.
Let me search this up.
I mean, the Florida Project is really, really like the big one that put him on the map, but
Yeah,
Tangerine as
Tangerine.
well. Uh,
Tangerine.
yeah, like I mean, even like Christoph Waltz, his breakthrough role is technically considered Inglorious Bastards, and he was already in his like 40s or 50s, and that was considered his biggest breakthrough. So like, it can happen at any point. Um, anyways, so yeah, so because this film isn't out, there's very little information on Wikipedia, which is understandable, so it's not spoiled. So the one sentence, whatever the fuck you would call that, is the film stars Simon Rex as Mikey Saber, a washed-up porn star who returns to his small Texas hometown, even though no one there really wants him back. Um, yeah, I will warn you guys. Are we gonna? Yeah, I get. Do you want to make this a spoiler review or no?
Um, I think
Part of me leans towards no, since it's not out for
it's
another
not
month.
officially out yet, so I would vote no.
Okay, all
Yeah,
right,
just
we'll
not
do
the
that.
weird stuff.
Yeah, it makes
No
sense.
targeted.
So yeah, the most like the biggest, he does this with his other films. He'll hire one well-known actor, and then everyone else is not either, street cast. They've never really worked on anything before, or they're just not very well known in general. So you got Simon Rex, and then the rest of the cast is Brie Elrod, Susanna Son, Brenda Dice, Judy Hill, Marlon Lambert, Brittany Rodriguez, who we got to meet. She was very nice. Ethan Darbone, who we also met. Shi Ching Su, Parker Bigham, Brandy Curl, and Dustin Hart. Um, yeah. So, so the production notes say like Baker and his collaborator, when they got the idea for the Mikey Saber character, they got the idea while they were researching the adult film industry for Starlit, which came out in 2012, and they met a number of men who fit that archetype of a suitcase pimp. Baker already had Simon Rex in his mind years before they fully developed this, but he never introduced himself to him until like last year, and convinced him to send an audition tape.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then he actually drove here to Texas to avoid quarantine, because last year, if you flew, you had to quarantine for 2 weeks.
Yeah. You forget to mention that this film was made because he couldn't film his other film, and this was basically
Yeah,
like
he was
his.
working on another film and he had to ditch it because of COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it says he drove. No. Simon Rex drove to Texas to avoid having to quarantine after a flight for filming. It began 3 days after he drove there.
Is he
So,
anti-vax?
yeah, Rex didn't tell his agent about the film until shooting was over, because Baker just told him to trust him. Yeah, and it says, Baker has devoted his career to tell stories that remove stigma and normalize lifestyles of sex workers throughout his films. His choice of Rex, who starred in solo masturbation videos for a gay porn company before establishing himself as a model, an actor and rapper.
Is this
Yeah.
actually like Rex's? Like,
Yeah.
but that's damn. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
It makes sense, but also
He looks the part.
Yeah, he looks the part. Not gonna lie.
So yeah, this is in February of this year, A24 acquired the U.S. distribution rights to it. It had its world premiere at Cannes, where it received a 5-minute standing ovation. What else? Oh, here we go. Okay. In conjunction with Travis Scott's Astroworld Festival and the Houston Cinema Arts Festival, a drive-in screening of Red Rocket was scheduled in Houston on November 8th, 2021, featuring appearances by Baker, the film's cast, and Scott. However, the aftermath of a mass casualty event at his concert Friday night, Scott canceled the remainder of the festival and refunded all tickets. Yeah, we already know that.
Well, we know that, but maybe the audience.
Oh yeah, the audience might not know that. So like the Astroworld screener was supposed to happen at Astroworld, obviously days before,
of course.
and because of the
Accident,
the event,
tragedies,
the festival was canceled, and they moved the screening to like a couple hours before ours. So I feel really bad for this man having to watch his whole movie back to back like that, because he was tired, dude.
You think he actually watched it, or he just went around, walked around the museum, or went to go?
I don't know.
I feel like he went to go.
He was at least there, so the energy of his movie back to back twice.
That's true.
As of now, on Rotten Tomatoes, it has an approval rating of 96%. Yeah. So far, it has won at the Deauville American Film Festival. It won the Prix du Jury and the Critics Award. At the Middleburg Film Festival, it won the Ensemble Spotlight Award. At the Mill Valley Film Festival, Simon Rex won the MVFF award, whatever the fuck that is. At Film Fest 919, Sean
Mhm.
Baker and Chris Bergach won the Distinguished Screenwriter Award. And at the SCAD Savannah Film Festival, Simon Rex won the Spotlight Award, and it is pending nominations at the Gotham Awards.
We
Anyways,
going to Batman? Shit, damn. No wonder it just
oh
come
my
back movie.
god, no,
Yes.
no, because these awards have existed
I
before
hate
Batman.
movies.
No wonder it's just comeback movie though. That's a lot of awards, even if I don't recognize any of them.
Well, the man was a rapper after he finished off, making movies. Rex ended up getting
Was
into
it?
like a fucking
What
music
the
career
fuck?
apparently, as
That's wild.
Dirt Nasty.
Yes, I've
I
heard
hate
that
that
name.
I
I didn't know that
recognize
was
that
him
name.
though. I had heard that name before, but I didn't know it was him.
Yeah, me neither. I wouldn't actually recognize his name anyway, because I only know him. Oh, that's the guy from Scary Movie 3 to 5. Or,
Yeah, I
yeah,
recognized his face.
yeah, no,
Um,
definitely.
I need to pull up my letterbox.
Yeah.
Give me a second. But y'all go ahead. Give y'all's thoughts.
Luis, you want to go first, or you want me to go
This
first?
shit, mad horny. It's a porn star movie, and I should have read the synopsis before, but I didn't put two and two together. And as I was watching it, I was like, oh, okay, cool. Not gonna lie, I am not like I enjoy Sean Baker's films. I really enjoyed Florida Project. It was a really good film. This one though, I didn't enjoy that much. Like I enjoyed certain comedic bits because it's like it gives me scary movie vibes, and like I laughed during his scenes. And it's not that Sean Baker's movie gave me scary movie vibes. It's Rex's performance choice during some scenes. Um, so with that, I was just very much. I was like, all right, cool, cool, cool. Like Rachel mentioned earlier, you will feel every minute of this film, and I definitely did. And that kind of, I was tired by the end. Not gonna lie, I was
Mm-hmm.
so tired. And then, yeah, it's just, it's a solid, eh for me. Like I'm not gonna watch it again. Honestly, not gonna lie, not at all.
Yeah. All right. You want me to go next, Rich, or you want to go?
Yeah.
Okay. Um, I like the film. I think the film was good. I think that this is definitely my least favorite work from Baker. Having seen Tangerine and the Florida Project, you still need to watch Starlet. Um, I very much like Simon Rex's performance. I think that when we look at cinematography wise, everything like that, this movie's fucking awesome. It's fucking great. Cinematography wise, I have a problem with the pacing of the film, and I have a problem with a little bit of the script here that I feel like it brings in some stuff and it introduces some stuff, and then it just kind of leaves it by the wayside a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
um, and also it takes a little bit too much time for it to unravel. And by the time we're done with the second act, we're kind of really starting to see things kind of pick up. And yeah, I mean, but this is 100% unapologetically a fucking Sean Baker film, and it's him kind of coming more into his own and starting to experiment a little more, with how he
Okay.
shoots some stuff, which I really appreciated that. And either way, I think it's another win from Simon. I think it's another win from Sean Baker, and I can't wait to see what Simon Rex does next. And a lot of this cast is headed for some pretty damn good. What's it called? For some pretty damn good stuff. And yeah, Brittany Rodriguez for Best Newcomer at the Independent Spirit Awards.
And he's not just saying that because he got your contact information.
Yeah, not saying that just because you get the take information, but yeah, uh, Brittany Rodriguez for Best Newcomer at the Film Independent Spirit Awards
It
2020
was good.
2022.
I have a lot of the same feelings as Raul. Like I said, you do feel every minute of this film. It does have a pacing issue. It takes a little bit too long to get to the next event, and by the time that like the real climax, well, I want to say the real climax. I don't know if that was the climax. This one really awful event that would be considered a climax happens, you're like already kind of near the end of the film, and it
Mhm.
progresses a little slowly. Um, yeah, what was I gonna say? Um, what was the other thing you said?
I think that it like leaves some stuff like
Oh
over
yeah,
like
yeah, because it introduces. There's one specific thing on the top of my head that I'm not gonna say. There's one specific thing they bring up twice in the movie, and the first time they bring it up, you're like, oh, and then the next time they bring it up, you're like, oh, okay, we're finally getting somewhere with this topic, and then that's
Mhm.
it. You never hear of it again, and it's a little awkward. You're like, the fuck?
Is it
Why'd you
the
bring it
red
up in the first?
rocket?
is the red.
Is it
Shut
the
up.
red rocket?
Um. So yeah, they bring it up a couple times. They don't visit it ever again. And I'm like, why'd you bring up this topic that's huge? It could be a huge part of this plot, and then never bring it up again.
I need you to type
Um.
it out because I'm trying to remember what that might be.
I will.
Yeah.
And but otherwise, I did enjoy it. I enjoyed the cast, especially. I guess I'm a little bit biased because I'm from the Houston area, so seeing um some
Metro is not
parts.
Houston.
Shut up. Some parts of this area that I've seen growing up, like it gave a little bit of emotion. Not I wouldn't say like a like a oh, more just like a oh my god kind of emotion. But even then, it still meant a lot because I was like, I've grown up seeing this place, and you're showing it in my movie. So after the film, we did get to meet Sean Baker, and literally the first thing I said to him, and I was like, you have no idea. You have no idea what you did putting that specific, Texas landmark in your film. Because the second it showed up, every single person in the theater was like, everyone was like, oh my God. And that made it all the more special to me because it wasn't like an endearing landmark, like oh my God, it's the Alamo type of thing. It's like, oh my God. um, but that alone, yeah, that made me feel it. Um, yeah, he was also super nice. I felt bad. He was very sleepy. Uh, but yeah.
Yeah.
Um, any final thoughts?
Sean, where the fuck was Houston, dog? You mentioned it once. I didn't get to ask at the actual Q&A. That was South Texas. I get that. I respect that. I don't mind that. But I ain't see Houston. You mentioned it once about going there because of a
It's because
job.
that area, like near Texas City and Galveston and stuff, they still in that area. People who live over there
Classified as
talk about
Houston.
Houston. No,
Oh
not even
yeah.
that. Their
Just
their
talk.
version of going into the city is going to Houston because that's their only direction. Because I've met people that live over there,
Mm.
and
Yeah.
their version of let's go do something, let's go to the city is going to Houston, no matter
Houston.
how far
Mm.
away it
Yeah, it
is.
isn't.
Yeah.
It is like an hour or two at max.
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying that because he mentioned it was like, yeah, we shot some stuff in Houston. It was like, good work and stuff. I was like,
So where
okay,
is it
cool.
then?
Yeah. So where the
Yeah.
fuck is it?
I did also feel
Trying to say
special
B cement.
because he technically considered that the real premiere since it was the
Yeah.
Texas premiere, and
That was really sweet of him.
I
Yeah.
was like,
Yeah.
"It's so sweet, I love you, Sean."
Yeah. Um, so I mean, I would say I definitely recommend you guys watch this one. I think that if you're a fan of what Sean Baker's kind of growing in his filmography, that you're gonna what's it called really be interested to watch this. But this definitely seems like this definitely seems something like it seems like something I need to rewatch. But I will say that it is incredibly hilarious, funny. It's funny. He has some great humor and I love just how Simon Rex's performance was like that. But yeah, those are my final thoughts. I really liked I like this, but it obviously was not my favorite of the festival.
Yeah. So next, moving on, the next day, we saw Luchadoras at Mecca. Um, I'm gonna be honest, I don't know exactly what part of Houston we were in. I know,
It's downtown.
no, it wasn't. It was in Sixth Ward,
Mm-hmm.
so it was above downtown, but it wasn't exactly to the Heights. It was somewhere northern. Anyways,
She
um,
doesn't recognize the Latino spot in Houston.
It was also
shut
dark as
up.
hell, bro.
Yeah,
Holy
I
it was dark
shit.
as
this
fuck.
city is so big. I like
Mm.
like a couple weeks ago, we were at an escape room on the other side of town, and I didn't know where the fuck we were. It's
That
like that.
one was clear. Yeah, like where the
If
fuck
I go
are we?
to an
That shit was
area
scary.
of Houston that I haven't been to before, I don't exactly
Mm.
know where I am.
Did you guys get to see inside the building? By the way,
No.
Yeah.
it
Did
was
you get to go in there?
beautiful. Yeah,
Oh
Oh,
yeah,
I
you went
saw
to go
the
take a piss.
bathroom.
How was it?
the bathroom. A lot of beautiful, gorgeous shit. The other Muerto
Motherfucker.
stuff still there. Memoriam of photos of the school and shit. Pretty nice.
Damn. And I really wanted to go use the restroom, but I was like, I kind of am really enjoying this movie, and I
I
really
thought
want
you
to see
did.
it.
You followed Kelvin into the
No, no,
restroom.
no, no. I went to go see where it was, so that way I could know where to go.
Oh, okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay, okay.
All
Gotcha.
right.
Yeah, I only went to the bathroom. So, there's not much information about this because it is more independent than like the other big name films at this festival. It is a documentary.
Mm.
So the sentence is the courageous female wrestlers of Ciudad Juarez. Did I pronounce that correctly?
Mm-hmm.
A city known for its high murder rate against women who fight in the ring and in their daily lives to redefine the image of what it means to be a woman in Mexico. Directed by Paola Calvo and Patrick Yassim. Um, that's really there's not much other information. It stars Lady Candy, Miss Kath, Minnie uh, Sirenita, Baby Star, and Little Star. So those are the female wrestlers of the film.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that's really all information there.
Luis, you got
It's
15 seconds, bro. 14.
Oh fuck.
um, so yeah, I'm trying to. The runtime is 93 minutes. It
Pretty good size
it I
film.
don't have a specific release date for anything else because I don't know if it has a distributor.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't understand this part. It could be a producer, but the countries of origin, obviously Mexico, but it also says Germany.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that could be a production credit.
Cool.
Okay, more information. Um, yeah, it doesn't have a distributor. So yeah, that's
Yeah.
yeah. The first premiere they had was at South by Southwest in March. So yeah, y'all go ahead, give your thoughts.
I haven't seen it
Uh,
yet. so
Luis
this
didn't
is
see it.
Raul. Yeah.
You didn't see it.
um,
I missed the beginning of it.
I loved this movie. This movie was um it was beautiful. This movie was something that I had, when I saw the premise, I was like, okay, this is like really interesting, and I really want to see what's up here because I'm a lover of professional wrestling, but I also very much obviously studied a lot of what's it called? I studied a lot of Mexican American, what's it called, identity, and with that comes the what's it called, observing the current state of Mexico and also observing the border and absorb like all these other things that what's it called I did while I was in school. I think this is a beautiful documentary, um, showing not just the resiliency of these women, but just the sheer resistance that these women go through every day in their lives, and the only time that they can actually feel like they are in full control of who they are and their and the way that they are presented to the world is when they're in the ring and they finally get to be unapologetically like strong and fierce and just amazing. And I thought the movie, what's it called, it was like beautifully crafted with some rich cinematography. And yeah, this is one that I hope, like, even if it doesn't, like, what's it called, grab a distributor, I hope this is something like eventually, like, some of us will be able to watch, everybody will be able to watch, because I thought it was freaking great. I love this one.
I know some streaming services. I know Amazon and Hulu sometimes have they don't get distributing rights, but they are able to have short films and documentaries from film festivals on their
Hmm.
services. Like they'll pay to have them on there. I've seen them do that in the past, so I'm hoping that if they do it this year, this is one of the ones they grab. Um, so yeah, this film was this like starting this movie, I didn't know it was a documentary because it's so beautifully shot. You think it's a narrative at points. Um,
Mhm.
so it so perfectly conveys what's really going on because you're like you kind of get the story, but it is a documentary. Like these are real people talking about their struggles and you know trying to be strong. You know, in a city that's not really helping women at all. The cinematography is beautiful. If you look up the poster, the scene with that shot in general,
Oh,
like, was fucking amazing. I was like, holy shit. Like, bro. Yeah, I could tell Raul was into it. So it was an outdoor venue. Um, I was sitting like in a separate area from him, like kind of behind him, and I could see him just like
He was ready to
like
square
really
up.
into the fucking movie.
After the show, he came up to me and said, "Hey, can I show you a move real quick?" And started choking me.
He was also wearing a wrestling shirt too.
He
yeah.
was. I noticed it.
I
I was
wear a
like,
wrestling
this
shirt.
is a Mexican film about wrestling. Raul's gonna love this shit.
Hmm.
Yeah, and I ended up really liking it.
It was. It
And-
just got really cold. I was like, if you
oh
didn't
yeah,
dress the
no, yeah.
part, you might have gotten like
Yeah,
Yeah,
two.
shout
Yeah.
out to Kelvin for lending me that freaking jacket, bro. It helped a lot.
I was fine.
Yeah, but I'm from
You
South
were.
Texas. We never get that type of
Were.
weather here.
That's true.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
Um, any final thoughts other than we really enjoyed this?
Yeah, love this. Also, there was one part in there that I was like, I'm glad that it doesn't gloss over the fact that trans women are also very much victimized and very much
Hmm.
what's it called, preyed upon by feminicide. So I'm glad that that was something that was brought up, and I had not seen that in a film from Mexico in a while. So this was, that was great, and yeah, uh, this was so definitely a German and Mexican co-production because when we were standing outside, when we were done, there was a group of guys just talking German with each other.
Oh, I had no
Uh,
idea.
Yep, they were talking German.
was it? Is it weird that I feel like I was overhearing the conversation? I was like, yeah, okay. I was just agreeing with them. I had no German intellect,
I mean, what else are
and
you gonna do?
somehow
Yeah,
that
yeah.
time.
Oh man,
It was
but
great
yeah.
Anyways,
though.
so moving on, the next film that Raul and I saw was Come On, Come On, directed by Mike Mills, who also directed 20th Century Women. That was also distributed by A24.
I love
Um,
A24.
and 20th Century Women was actually nominated for Best Original Screenplay. The I guess
Mm.
2017 or 20. I mean, it was released in 2016, so I guess it's 2017 Academy Awards. Um, so it is a black and white film. Don't let that deter you. Um, the premise is a radio journalist left to take care of his precocious young nephew forges an unexpected bond over a cross country trip. The official release date will actually be this Friday, November 19th, because we are at the tail end of the festival circuit. The runtime is 108 minutes. Um, yeah, so before this film, this is the thing A24 does. They'll pick up um, a director's film, and then the next film they make, they just go ahead and fund them instead of waiting to pick it up. So that's what they did with this. They went ahead and decided to distribute the film before it was shot. Yeah, it stars Joaquin Phoenix, Gabby Hoffman, Woody Norman, Scoot McNairy, Molly Webster, and Jabuki Young White. Um, yeah, on Rotten Tomatoes, it holds an approval rating of 91%. And that's all the information we have. So, if Raul, if you want to go ahead.
Holy shit, this movie. This is my favorite movie of this festival so far. I say so far because as of the time that this episode is being recorded, I have not finished my screenings of HCAF yet. I have to watch what's it called, one more that I'm going to review, and then there's other ones that I'm gonna watch just to watch because obviously those are gonna be released as reviews. But
Mm.
um this movie, holy shit, man, this movie's incredible. It's beautifully intimate in like the most personal but also very free way. It manages to kind of creep up on you in some moments where it really touches your heart and really makes you kind of think about the relationship between, children and adults and the way that they should be treated with each other. um, I love this movie because there's not just that going on. There's, the idea of like mental illness in here, but there is also, um, just the the character of Joaquin Phoenix being this, this man who really doesn't know what he wants. He's doing something, but in that project, he thinks that he knows what he wants out of his life, but somehow, like, it is really through Johnny, not Johnny, it's really through the kid that he learns about what he wants out of his life.
Jesse.
Jesse, yeah. And I loved it. This movie was beautiful. I cried about 3 times, and I can say that this is definitely one of my favorites of the year and my favorite of the festival so far.
Um, so I also really enjoyed this. I am not a movie crier. It's very rare for me. I don't know the reason. I don't control it, obviously, but for whatever reason, I have a hard time crying during films. But this one was one of those that I really, really felt it though. Um, a lot of fucking emotion. Oh shit, the Criterion sale ends tomorrow. Oh no, 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 wait, no, it doesn't.
No,
Anyways, um,
yeah, we still got a lot of time left.
no, I was looking at a different thing on the Barnes and Noble website. Anyways, um, I really enjoyed this. I've told Raul before. Oh, through the 29th. Okay. Um, so I really, really enjoy modern black and white films. The other one that comes to mind, obviously, is Nebraska. I fucking love Nebraska. I love modern black and white films. And I know this sounds weird because a lot of people, like the quality, the video quality, it's different from color. Like because it's in black and white, you can see the crispness because it's digitally shot. Uh, it's so good. I love that in general. I love a good digital black and white film. Also, this was an audio person's like wet dream. Like it there were a lot of moments because he is, what did it say, a radio journalist.
Yeah, real journalist.
There's a lot of audio equipment in this film, and there are scenes, without spoiling, there are scenes where he's letting Jesse use the equipment and try it out because he's trusting him with it. And Jesse's walking around with the boom mic and like recording random things, and as he's recording them, it's I think they actually did record those and then put them into the film because he'll like walk up to somebody roller skating and you'll hear the wheels like in real time. It's so, and it happens multiple times, and it's so just. And aside from that, like aside from just those scenes in general, the audio mixing is just fucking incredible. Everything that they've recorded with that specific mic and recorder, I like. If you told me they actually recorded those and put those in the movie, I would believe you. Which I'm pretty sure they did at this point. Um, I fucking loved it. It was emotional. Uh, I am a well-known child-free person. I don't like kids, but like I don't know where the fuck they got this kid, but he's so fucking good. And I mean, this film indicates like the importance of treating kids as humans, because there's this, a lot of families have this thing where they talk down to kids. They don't exactly treat them like people. And if you just treat them like the people they are, their their communication skills skyrocket. They're better at communicating and expressing themselves to you when they're having issues. And this film perfectly indicates how important that is, which that's something that I try to do with my own nephew, because my brother-in-law, my mom, my dad, like they talk to my nephew like they would, anybody else. They talk down to him because he's a kid, which is dehumanizing in a way. And me and my sister, I mean, I just noticed my sister does it. But I for sure, we talked to him normally and we're like, hey, because he's just a little person, he's younger, yeah, and he's learning the world, but he is a person and he deserves to be spoken to with respect and patience. But I really fucking enjoyed this. It's not my favorite of the, it's my second favorite of the festival so far.
Oof.
I say that because of a film uh, I watched last night, which we will get to later on. But I fucking love this. So, any final thoughts?
I
Um,
love when Phoenix just goes around the bathroom to dance.
eh, wrong movie, Luis. Wrong
Oh
movie.
fuck, my bad.
Yeah.
Jesus
Um,
Christ.
Jesus
I
Christ.
can see a clear future for this movie, and I am happy that this movie exists in this time. And I hope that Mike Mill. I am going to steadily start my watch of like Mike Mills's filmography because of this movie. Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, I can't say anything else other than as an audio person, it was a wet dream for me. I fucking loved it.
Yeah.
So moving on, Raul, if you want to take your headphones off, we're about to get to the stuff that you haven't seen. So the next film
Oh
is
shit.
is what I saw. Luis, I don't know if you want to stay for this one too. I only
I
saw this
wonder what they're
one.
talking about.
I was by myself. I saw Memoria. The plot goes, it's literally the sentence for the plot is just something that a director said, or not a critic said. Like there's no specific thing, so I'm just gonna read that. It's from Peter Bradshaw of The Guardian. He said, Tilda Swinton plays Jessica, an expatriate English woman who lives in Medellin. Is that, did I pronounce that correctly? It's in Colombia. Anyways, running a market gardening business selling flowers. She is in Bogota visiting her sister Karen and her husband Juan because Karen is ill in hospital with a mysterious respiratory complaint. One night, Jessica is awoken from a sleep by a strange bang or sonic boom. What is going on? Yeah. So this film. Anyways, oh okay, wait. I don't know how to pronounce the director's name. I'm not even gonna lie. He is a Thai director. Um, so this is his first film shot outside of Thailand.
Okay.
Um, the woman who introduced the film told us that him and I hate that I can't pronounce his name because I want to try it, but I don't want to butcher it. Anyways, um, so she said that at a Colombian film festival, him and Tilda Swinton met and they decided they wanted to make a film. They were just exchanging ideas. Um,
Okay.
so the runtime is 136 minutes. You feel every single, not, you don't just feel every minute of this film, you feel every second of this film.
136.
Yes, and you feel every fucking second
I didn't
of
know
it.
that. God
Um,
damn.
yeah, so it stars Tilda Swinton, Elkin Diaz, Jean Balibar, Juan Pablo Urego, and Daniel Jimenez Cacho. Um, yeah, Neon has the distribution rights. The release date for theaters is December 26th of this year. It won the jury prize at Cannes and the Gold Hugo at the Chicago International Film Festival. It has an approval score of 91% on Rotten Tomatoes. So y'all are probably gonna hate my review because I did not like this movie. It was selected also. It was selected as the Colombian entry for Best International Feature at the Academy
Why'd you
Awards for
put
next year.
Why'd you put quotation marks?
I didn't.
Oh, you didn't? I saw your hand
No,
go up and I was like,
I was just like.
yeah.
Anyways, so I didn't enjoy this film. A lot of the people who were there really like this filmmaker's style.
Hmm.
His style is very slow paced, like purposely slow paced, where you're supposed to feel every second of it, but that's not my kind of pacing. That kind of pacing stresses me out. And with the plot of this film, it makes sense, but I just was not feeling it. It is a lot of stationary shots that where the camera just sits in one place for like anywhere from like 30 seconds to like 10 minutes, probably more. And everything's playing out in front of it, which is respectable. Um, but it's the kind of feeling of like, is it gonna fucking cut? Is it gonna, when's the next scene gonna happen? And everyone else that I spoke to at the theater was like, yeah, I was just anticipating the next shot. And I was like, I was dying waiting for the next shot. It's not a horrible movie. It's just not my thing. Um, because it also, you know, the characters as well move very slowly and talk very slowly, the way that like Tilda Swinton does. It's a very Tilda Swinton movie. Um, and I love her. I think she's a fantastic actor, but I just was not feeling this movie. I was not feeling a movie that is paced the same way that she is. I wasn't having it. I did give it a favorable score because I respect it. Once I sat with it and, you know, really thought about the plot, I was like, the plot is fantastic. The execution is where I'm not having it. Um, so yeah, it is kind of confusing. Um, I didn't fully understand it even. I still don't, but I understood it a little better after speaking to some people at the theater. Um, yeah, I don't know. I feel indifferent, I guess, about this film. It is beautiful, but it's just not my thing because the ending specifically, without spoiling, it's one of those things where you're like, it's still going. You know,
Yeah.
like you're waiting and you think it's the last shot, and then it cuts again to another shot, and you're like, oh,
Oh no, I don't like that.
yeah, it does that multiple times before it finally ends. And I was like, I'm not having this.
Yeah,
But
I
those are
honestly
my
think that
thoughts.
didn't go.
Those are my thoughts on Memoria. I believe it's on our virtual festival. So if these two, is it? Let me make sure.
Hmm.
If it is, if these two watch it before we record next week, you know, we can get their reviews. Um,
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it is. I don't know. We just found out that stuff expires today, which I'm pissed off about.
Should
Um,
we let Raúl in and just like talk very softly about the film,
he
like
hasn't
shit
seen
that?
it.
But you're not talking plot though, or like spoilers. Are you?
No,
Yeah.
but like
So
he
I
doesn't
mean,
want to hear anything about it.
oh, does it? Oh, I
I've
thought
had
you
the
didn't
yeah,
want
I've talked to him
spoilers.
about it before. He doesn't want to hear any of the aspect stuff about it either. He wants to
Oh,
experience that stuff for himself.
that's new. All right.
Yeah. Um. So moving on, we had a back-to-back double feature last night. Um.
Yeah.
It was our last. It was at least my last in-person appearance. I might be going to the other one, but it's an anniversary showing, so it's not like part of the festival exactly.
Yeah.
Um. So we saw Petite Maman, directed by Celine Sciamma. Is it
Mm-hmm.
Sciamma or Siama?
Siyama, no, because they don't
Siama?
pronounce. Yeah, they don't pronounce their C's.
Oh yeah, so Celine Sciamma. It stars Josephine Sans, Gabrielle Sans, uh, Stephanie, Stefan Varupin, uh, Nina Maurice, and Margot Abascal. It is 72 minutes, very short, but it's great.
That's
Um,
good timing.
yeah, I also am not seeing an official release date for in theaters. But obviously, I'm sure it'll be released eventually sometime next year.
Mm-hmm.
Um, sometime in the early, or I guess late winter, early of next year. Um, so where the fuck? Hold on, Wikipedia. Why are you failing me right now? Okay, so here's the little premise. Nellie, an 8-year-old girl, has just lost her beloved grandmother and is helping her parents clean out her mother's childhood home. One day, her mom abruptly leaves, and Nellie meets a girl her age as she's building a treehouse in the woods. Um, so, do you want to give your thoughts?
First, yeah. So for the directress's work, I haven't seen any of it. I know Raul really likes Lady of a
Portrait
Portrait
of a
of a
Lady
Lady
on
on
Fire.
Fire. Yeah. Um. Uh. And that's all I know of the work for the director. But I honestly went in looking based on the synopsis and just like what it could possibly be. Runtime was a good amount for me, and I ended up loving. I'm not gonna lie, I really did. I loved the whole storyline and how it was just able to tell closure through a child and the whole just I guess what the director Pat mentioned something about the director's like choice. But it was just like a really good film that I thoroughly enjoyed and do recommend. Like it's short enough to where if you're not into more, I wouldn't call it artesian films, but it's in that sense that this is a very well-rounded story-based film, and the acting's phenomenal. It's cute, funny, and it has its warm moments, and it was a good time.
I yeah, I this is my favorite film of the festival.
Hmm.
Um, I oh, I said at the end of it, I was like, I wish it was just a little bit longer. Not
Hmm.
a whole lot longer, just a little bit. But even then, I'm happy with the length of it. It's just so fucking adorable. What the fuck is he doing?
He's doing a bunch of shit. That's what I was telling you. Like, do you not?
um, I fucking love this movie. I cried. I had a lot of sighs, like a lot of emotional, like, to the point that
Hmm.
after the film, we were speaking to some people and they were like, "That was you?" Like, oh shit. Um,
Hmm.
I felt every moment of this film. Celine Sciamma is very well known for portraying, feminine identities and, female independence, which I think is very, very important. Okay, so a common theme in her films are the fluidity of gender and sexual identity among girls and women. Um,
Yes, I believe that's what Pat mentioned.
and to me, this film felt like just the importance of not only thinking of your parents as, they were kids once, um, and that they should probably remember that when they're speaking to you as a kid, but
Hmm.
also the importance of your inner child. I'm currently healing my inner child, so that alone, seeing them unapologetically have fun, hit different.
Hmm.
Um, it was very, very emotional for me, but in a good way. I do like this more than Portrait of a Lady on Fire. I would love if this also got added to the Criterion Collection, but we will see. We'll
We'll find
see
out.
like a year from now if it does get added.
Yeah, it's
Um,
still fresh. It's still fresh.
it's so good. It's so good. I also just learned the two girls in the film are sisters because I was like, they look a lot
Yeah, they
alike.
look
I mean,
extremely
without getting into
alike.
spoilers, they look a lot alike.
Yeah, they look a
Um,
lot alike.
yeah, they are sisters. So that's a good thing. That's a problem I have with films sometimes is they'll get like something like this and they don't look anything alike, or
Hmm.
like a
It's
mother and a daughter or something like
it's
yeah, like
difficult. Yeah,
sisters, shit like that, and
it's
they don't look
difficult
like.
stuff. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
But
the
yeah.
fact that she was able to find sisters
Hmm.
is
Hmm.
great. Any final thoughts?
I no, that was basically it. I do like the time. There's time travel aspects, which I always am for. Rachel and Raul have seen me geek over that shit and just like scientific stuff. And I didn't go over it too much in my head, but I thoroughly enjoyed that aspect. It was cool. It was nice. It was
I
good.
would I would say minus the timing of Memoria, I think you would enjoy it for its science fiction aspects.
It is too. It's 130 minutes though.
Yeah, it's really long.
Yeah, that's. I don't know. If it's online, then I'll probably check it out.
Yeah. So finally, the last film we saw in person was The Humans, written and directed by Stephen Karam.
I
Karam.
think. I think so.
He This is based on a play, a one-act
Mhm.
play of the same name, also written by him. So this is his directorial debut. I really like when the creators of a story work on, the adaptation of it. I will
Yeah.
say in the last couple of years, those instances have sucked. Um, i.e., Dear Evan Hansen, but
I never went to
this
see
one
it.
is really fucking good. Um, So it currently sits at 108 minutes. The theatrical release is November 24th, so next week. But it will also be available on Showtime because A24 does have a collaboration with Showtime. Um, yeah, I also can't find a sentence about it. Okay, here we go. So, the premise Eric Blake gathers 3 generations of his Pennsylvania family to celebrate Thanksgiving at his daughter's apartment in lower Manhattan. As darkness falls and eerie things go bump in the night, the group's deepest fears are laid bare. It stars Beanie Feldstein, Richard Jenkins, Jane Howdyshell, who was in the original production on Broadway, Amy Schumer, Stephen Yeun, and June Squibb. Um, I will say I was not sure about Amy Schumer when it first started, but this film actually made me wish she was a better comedian because she was great in this movie. Um, anyways, what are your thoughts?
I really enjoyed this one. I was expecting on my last film festival that I went to go see this, but it was only in person, which kind of sucked. But now getting the chance, once I saw that it was going to be actually playing here, I was like, yeah, I'm definitely going. I think you were the one that told me that there was going to be a screening. I just remember seeing one. Uh, Sadly, I did have to miss another film that I wanted, kind of was interested in. But overall, this film was just. I think this one might be my favorite one of what I've seen, but I've only seen 3, so that kind of narrows it down. Um, all the actors and actresses in this film really just went all out, and dude, there was points where I legit got scared because there are some fear factors in this film, and it's way better than what a I guess scary movie or what's marketed as a scary movie does to me. But this shit got to me. Like I legit jumped and I was expecting to get scared, and not just like expecting a jump scare, but like legit fear, just uncomfortability and stuff that comes from it. And yeah, everyone played each off of each other like fucking phenomenally, and the ending, span fucking tacular, mate.
Yeah, so this movie does play off of like, I think it's more scary because it plays off of like very real fears,
Mm-hmm.
nothing irrational.
Yeah.
Um, because the story is set, and on Thanksgiving, and over the course of a few hours, they're together for Thanksgiving or whatever. And the thing about Thanksgiving is like in general, it feels like that holiday specifically plays off of your fears. Because you're with a lot of family and there's a lot of drama, you're gossiping about other things, but you're also, by the end of the night, you're screaming at each other because you don't, a lot of times you don't come together with all your family like that.
Sadly,
Um,
I don't know if I relate to that one, but
oh, I do. Um, yeah, no, I really felt this because I related
mm-hmm.
to it a lot.
Yeah.
I felt everything in it. It's very, very tense. This movie perfectly portrayed why I choose not to celebrate family oriented holidays
Events, yeah.
because they all feel like this for me, exactly like
Mm-hmm.
this. Um, but that being said, it's very beautifully shot, very beautifully
Oh,
written.
incredible.
The
Yeah.
acting is fantastic. Um, yeah, like I said, if it makes me wish that Amy Schumer wasn't such a piece of shit and that she actually was a good comedian because she
Mm-hmm.
was great in this. Um, there were a couple of jokes she made near the beginning that was like, ugh. But otherwise, I thought she was good in this.
Yeah.
I thought this was really good. I think this is my third favorite of the festival. I don't
Mm-hmm.
know, but they nailed it.
Not to
Um,
mention that they didn't get supposedly from what I caught at the end of the film is something that is important to mention. I feel like is because the actors didn't receive payment for this, or supposedly didn't receive payment,
yeah,
which
that
is
too. Yeah,
these are big actors. Like they're well known. I recognize at least all of them in one film, and that's fucking
yeah.
crazy.
Once I learned that, I forgot to do more research on it, but yeah, you're right. It did say that people involved in this film didn't receive payment, which is insane. Which when you're watching the film, you can see how that happened because they're very conservative with props. Which I don't know how the actual stage play is with props, they are conservative with the props in this
Mhm.
film, so it was probably like we don't have much funding. What was the budget?
Yeah.
Oh, it doesn't say. Nice. Um, uh, so people aren't getting paid. Which is very indicative of a low budget. Uh, so
Film. Mhm.
yeah, they're very very. I wouldn't say stingy because stingy is like a negative tone, but like
Yeah.
they're very conservative with the props and the food. It flows very easily. It looked like they could have easily shot it in a couple of days.
Yeah,
It
that's
does not
very true.
say um, how long it took to shoot. It just says it happened in September of 19. Um, but the way that it goes through, you can tell, which just makes it even more respectable because these are very, you have Richard Jenkins in there. And
Mhm.
I don't know if Beanie Feldstein has been nominated, but Richard Jenkins obviously has been nominated for Academy Awards. He's very fucking well known. He's been in the
Mhm.
industry for over
Oh,
40 years.
he's an old dude.
Yeah, he's fantastic. He carried this movie. I mean, everyone in this movie was fantastic, but he carried this. I could see him easily being nominated for this,
Oh.
which he should win for it since he didn't win for Shape of Water.
Oh,
Um,
he's in it. Okay.
he's the old guy.
I haven't seen
Oh
it.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Steven Yeun is great. Uh,
Of course.
everyone is great. Beanie, everyone, she just kills it no matter what. Um, so yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah.
Raul,
The
Raul,
candy ears. Put down his
Raul,
phone.
boy, you
No.
can come back. You can come back. You can come back. Hello, you can come back. Welcome back.
That was a lot of time without the headphones on. A lot of time
Yeah.
that I was making up context in my head of what was being said.
Oh my God. Well, we had 3 movies to talk about, so
Yeah, Rachel told me you didn't want any, like, even if it's not spoilers, you just didn't want to hear about the films.
yeah,
I
he
don't want
doesn't
to
like
hear
to hear
about
about
'em.
the technical stuff. Yeah, he wants to experience it himself.
That's right. Hop off my dick, Luis.
Yeah.
Damn.
I learned that. I don't know what movie it was I saw over the summer, and I started doing that. He's like, no, 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 no.
Oh,
It
old. Yo, it was
was
old.
old. Yeah, it was old.
Yeah. I was like, let me
Um,
experience this garbage fire for myself. Yeah.
um, yeah, it was one of those. Yeah, I learned that after old, so that's why I made this rule. Um, so next week we will. I don't know if it'll just be me or if the boys will be back, but we'll be reviewing everything that we watched uh, virtually.
Virtual.
Yeah. Uh, I'm not sure. I think a couple of these films are available virtually, so if they watch them before we record next week, they will give their thoughts. Um, yeah. So, Luis, where can people find you?
They can find me anywhere on any podcast site that you use, Spotify, Apple Pod, Google Pod, whatever you use. And you can listen to my podcast that is called "It'll Quiet Down," and it just deals about life. And yeah, it's just a fun time with guests that I have on every week, and just talk about random stuff, life, and we give advice. Or I asked them to give them advice. They don't know that they are gonna give advice, but that's always a fun time. You could also check out my work with the Nerd Corps articles. There's gonna be a couple of articles out by the end of this festival, and then yeah, that's it. Just catch
Mm-hmm.
us. Just catch me on there.
Whole lot of
Raul?
writing. Hello, everybody. You can find me at the Nerdy Chicano on both Instagram and Twitter, twitch.tv/the Nerdy Chicano. Coming back there to do some cool stuff because I'm unemployed and Papa needs some money. And on youtube.com, Raúl Alejandro Mendoza. And if you get me to 100 subscribers, I'm going to go ahead and give you one big, fat, juicy kiss on the cheek because you're going to get me to 100 subscribers and you can get me my custom URL. Lots of cool stuff coming to the YouTube channel as well because I am unemployed and I'm learning some money. Now, also, stay tuned for all news about Before I Leave by going to Before I Leave Film on Instagram and beforeIleavefilm.com. and of course thenerdcore.com for all my coverage of the Houston Cinema Arts Festival and any festival that we get a credit to after. I also have a review of Spencer coming up in a couple of weeks, so that's gonna be cool. I got a whole lot of other reviews I need to catch up on, but yeah, um, it's gonna get a little busy, but come and support me, guys, please. I need it.
And of course, you can find me everywhere at Lucky Peach, LVCKY Peach. If you go to any of my socials, you can find a link tree that takes you to my Twitter, my Instagram, my Letterboxd, my Twitch, my TikTok, the podcast itself, Patreon at patreon.com/Lucky Peach, and the Discord associated with the podcast. But in general, my ad is the same everywhere. LVCKY Peach. If you have any questions, specific questions, you can email them to luckiestpeachpodcast@gmail.com. Be sure to answer them either on the podcast or email you back. Also, if you would like, if you were involved in HCAF and you would like an interview on the podcast, email me there. I'm open to it. Yeah. Thank you to my patrons at patreon.com/luckypeach. Thank you so much for supporting me. You guys, if you are a patron, you get early access to episodes with the exception of this month. Once I start recording for December, the early releases will be back up and running. But also, if you're a patron at patreon.com/luckypeach, you get patron exclusive reviews of my Ingmar Bergman retrospective, as well as other films that I've seen recently. So you don't want to miss that. And you also get video access to each episode of the podcast. So why wouldn't you want to see us fucking around, Yeah, so I will see you guys next week when we record everything that we watch virtually. Thank you so much. Thank you, Sean Baker, for being wonderful. And I'll see you guys next week, and stay peachy.